brothers and sisters, in my youth, I used to be a Catholic. So today I've come to make a confession. And I want you to listen very carefully to this confession. To paraphrase the words of the Sun newspaper, it was me what done it. It was me that caused the crisis that we are in today. Because over the last 6 months, they've actually apportioned the blame for the crisis that has led to the cuts. In the first place come the baby boomers. That's me. I'm a baby boomer, so I'm to blame for the crisis. The second category that they're now blaming are the unemployed. I'm unemployed, so I'm to blame for the crisis. The third category, I don't fit into it, it is those who receive, in inverted commas, generous state benefits. So we now know who's to blame for the crisis. So now we have to decide today, and from now on, to stop blaming the bankers. Let me explain why. They've set aside for this year 6 billion as a bonus pool coming from the banks on the basis of 22 billion in profit. Last year, the same bankers received a bonus pool of 9 billion. So you can see the suffering that these poor bankers are going through. Bob Diamond in Barclays, for example, he's going to get a bonus of £8 million. Now, because he's had a similar type of bonus in previous years, what it actually means is that to maintain his standard of living, he has to have a similar type of bonus. Stuart Gulliver from HSBC is going to get a bonus of 9 million. And I'd like to see this spirit of generosity also being applied to the two main banks that are now publicly owned, that is RBS and Lloyds Bank. Stephen Hester from RBS is picking up a bonus of 2 million. Eric Daniels from Lloyds is picking up a bonus of 1.45 million. Now these are a lot of figures to remember. But what we have to be is we have to rest assured of the fact that these bankers are getting their just rewards for the hard work that they have been doing. And the hard work has been recognised by the government. They've introduced Project Merlin. It's nothing to do with King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, but Project Merlin, a way to get the bankers to pay for the crisis that they themselves has caused. So good was this deal that's been negotiated that Lord Oakeshott, the spokesman for the Treasury on behalf of the Liberal Democrats in the Lords, has resigned his position in the Liberal Democratic Party. Sisters and brothers, the reality of the cause of the crisis today is that over 2 years ago, banks lent out money they didn't have to people who couldn't pay them back. The state gets into debt because it gave the banks 950 billion, and the banks still have 512 billion of public money. And that is why we have a deficit of 150 billion, and that is why ordinary working people who did not cause the crisis are being made to pay for this crisis rather than the bankers. But what can you expect from a government that has 22 millionaires in it? What can you expect? They are playing their part in helping the bankers out. They are reducing corporation tax from 28% to 24%. Even better, any profits that are earned overseas by British corporations will be taxed at the rate in the country where they are operating, rather than the system that has existed up to now. When they repatriate their profits, they would have to pay the tax rate in this country. So whichever way you look at it, the banks are getting away with murder. They are the ones who caused the crisis. They want us to pay for it. On behalf of the Coventry Trade Union Council, our position on this issue is quite clear. They caused the problem. They are not fit for purpose. Take the banks into public ownership, run them under democratic control, use the funds, the public funds that they have to build schools, build hospitals, build houses and create jobs. That's one way we can solve the crisis and stop the cuts. Thank you, sisters and brothers.